Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 9. The passing away of Vishmadeva. Text 33. Tribhuvana kaumalam tamalavarnam. Is there any verse written? Ravikara Gauravara Ambaram Dadane Vapuralaka Kulabritananajam Vijaya Sake Ratirastune Navadya. Translation. Sri Krishna is the intimate friend of Arjuna. He has appeared on this earth in his transcendental body, which resembles the bluish color of the tamar tree. His body attracts everyone in the three planetary systems, upper, middle, and lower. May his glittering yellow dress and his lotus face covered with paintings of sandalwood cloth be the object of my attraction, and may I not desire fruitful results. This is a prayer by Vishmadeva. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. When Sri Krishna, by his own internal pleasure, appears on earth, he does so by the agency of his internal potency. The attractive features of his transcendental body are desired in all the three worlds, namely the upper, middle, and lower planetary systems. Nowhere in the universe are there such beautiful bodily features as those of Lord Krishna. Therefore, his transcendental body has nothing to do with anything materially created. Arjuna is described here as the conqueror, and Krishna is described as his intimate friend. Vishmadeva, on his bed of arrows after the battle of Kurukshetra, is remembering the particular dress of Lord Krishna, which he put on as the driver of Arjuna's chariot. While fighting was going on between Arjuna and Bhishma, Bhishma's attraction was drawn to the glittering dress of Krishna, and indirectly he admired his so-called enemy, Arjuna, for possessing the Lord as his friend. Arjuna was always conqueror because the Lord was his friend. Vishmadeva takes this opportunity to address the Lord as Vijay Saki, friend of Arjuna, because the Lord is pleased when he is addressed conjointly with his devotees, who are related with him in different transcendental humors. While Krishna was the charioteer of Arjuna, sun rays glittered on the dress of the Lord, and the beautiful blue hue created by the reflection of such rays was never forgotten by Vishmadeva. As a great fighter, he was relishing the relation of Krishna and his chivalrous humor. Transcendental relation with the Lord in any one of the different rasas, humors, is relishable by respective devotees in the highest ecstasy. Less intelligent mundane who want to make a show of being transcendentally related with the Lord artificially jump at once to the relation of conjugal love, imitating the damsel of Braja down. Such a cheap relation with the Lord exhibits only the base mentality of the mundane, because one who has relished conjugal union with the Lord cannot be attached to worldly conjugal rasa, which is condemned even by mundane ethics. The eternal relation of a particular soul with the Lord is evolved. A genuine relation of the living being with the Supreme Lord can take any form out of five principal rasas, and it does not make any difference in transcendental degree of the genuine devotee. Bhishmadev is a concrete example of this, and it should be carefully observed how the great general is transcendentally related with the Lord. Umagya-tigadandasya niranjana salatya. Chakshuru militam yena tasmai shri gurave namaha. Kam karoti vachanam kam gayate guru. Kripatamaham bande shri guru priyatam. Paramanandamadamam Sri Chaitanya. Sri Krishna is the intimate friend of Arjuna. He has appeared on this earth in his transcendental body, which resembles the bluish color of the tamal tree. His body attracts everyone in the three planetary systems. May his glittering yellow dress and his lotus face, covered with painting of sandalwood pulp, be the object of my attraction, and may I not desire fruitful results. Beautiful prayer by Shri Vishmadev in his deathbed, made of arrows. Such a great devotee of the Lord. I mean, anybody who's suffering in his situation, he is. I mean, he could not offer prayers, would be crying, lamenting. No? But great devotees like Vishmadev, they can keep their transcendental feelings for the Lord in any condition, never forgotten. So, one may ask the question, why Vishmadev took the side of the enemy of Krishna? Know the story? It's Mahabharata. Everything is there. The Mahabharata. The reason was, first let me explain to you how Bhishmadev was born. Everybody is familiar, no? With his birth. His father, Maharaj Shantanu, married Gangadevi, the goddess, the Ganges. But she married him with one condition, that whatever I do, you should not ask me why. If you do, I will leave you. That was the condition. I guess many women would like to have that condition. Once was a meeting of many married couples, and one woman challenged on the man, who dared to say that he's not controlled by his wife? No man answered. But then one man raised his hand. I'm not controlled by my wife, and I have her permission to say so. Anyway, this is Leela, pastime, of everything related to the Lord, Sri Krishna, is transcendental spirit. So he agreed. I mean, what she could do wrong? She's a goddess, Ganga Devi. Of course, he accepted. But as soon as they had a son, she took the son to the river and drowned the child. He was following her to see what she was going to do with the child. But he couldn't say a word because of his promise. The second, the third, the fourth, until the eighth. The eighth child, he could not control himself. He said, "Stop, cruel woman. Why you're killing your own children? How you could be so cruel, so hard-hearted?" The Ganga Devi smiled and said, "You broke your promise, now I'm leaving you. But before you leave, at least please tell me why you're doing this. What is the reason?" And she explained that before coming to this earth planet to be your wife, I was on the heavenly planet. And then there are 8 demigods called the Vasus. They were cursed to fall to earth. They stole the Kamadenu cow from a sage. And the sage cursed them to fall to earth planet. So they came to me and they asked me, "Please, we don't want to stay too long in the earth planet. So please, we ask you a favor. As soon as we are born, send us back to heaven, heavenly planet." So I agreed to help them. So that's why they were born as my children. And as soon as they were born, I sent them back to heavenly planet. I mean, who can imagine such a thing, you know? Very difficult, you know? Unless you can explain. So that's why it is difficult to understand the activities of great personalities, pure devotees of the Lord. So the 8th son was saved. And the reason, he was the one who planned to steal the crown. He was the one who made the plan. And the other followed him. So he was meant to stay longer time in the earth planet. And that was Vishmadev. Of course, his name was, before Vishmadev, was Devabrat. Devabrat. So she told her husband, Santanu, "I will take Devabrat to heavenly planet to be trained in Vedas, Sanskrit, martial art, everything, all the arts. And I will bring him back to you when he's 16. So the king agreed. And well, after a few years, the king was feeling lonely. So he became attracted to one girl, Satyavati. She was the daughter of the king of the fishermen. So he was attracted to her. And he was planning to marry. But during that time, Ganga Devi brought the son, Devavrat. So the king was very happy and he was going everywhere with him. And they developed a very, very close relationship, very loving relationship as a father and son. And the king decided to put Devabrata as the heir for the throne. So he made the ceremony, and everything, announced to the kingdom, Devabrata is going to be the next king, everything. Anyway, so finally the king asked Satyavati's father for her hand. And the king said, "It's a great honor for me. I mean, my daughter to be married to a king, but I have only one condition." "And what's your condition?" "That her son, my grandson, will be the next king after you." So he could not accept Shantanu because he already promised the throne to his son Devavrat. So he could not marry. And the king was a little, feeling sad. His desire was not fulfilled. But he will not say anything to his son. But the son, Devavrat, noticed something was wrong with his father. He will see that he was always silent and not eat much, you know, all these things. So he decided to follow his father one, and he saw him going to see this girl, Satyavati, very beautiful, celestial beauty. So he understood the whole situation. So Devabrat himself went to see her father, the king of the fishermen, and told him, you know, are you not honored? My father wants to marry your daughter. He said, yes, but he could not accept the condition I put. And what was the condition? That her son, my grandson, will be the heir to the throne. But your father, because of attachment to you, he could not accept that condition. Deborah said, then there is no problem. I renounce. Be assured, I give you my word as a true Kshatriya. I will not claim the throne. Your grandson will be the king. I don't care. The king of fishermen say, yes, I accept your word. I know you are a very truthful person. But what will happen if your sons, your future sons, will want to claim the throne from my grandson? So he saw that this man was very ambitious. So the Abrata then said, that's not the problem. He made a very difficult vow in front of all the Devatas, the Supreme Lord, the Brahmana, the sages. I made this solemn vow that all my life I will be brahmachari. He made this vow. I mean, for a big Kshatriya, strong to be brahmachari is very difficult. So all the Devatas showered flower on him, and they called him Bhishmadev, the one of the severe vow. So, and that happened for a reason also. When the Vasu was told you have to stay longer time on earth, he said, but I don't want to be entangled in family life. I want to stay brahmachari. Okay. That was already arranged beforehand. But but his father was a little worried about the future of the kingdom, you know, what will happen. So Bhishmadev, to pacify his father, he promised, whoever sits on this throne will have my full support and protection, no matter what. So because of this promise to his father, he was forced to side with the wrong party, the Kauravas. But his heart was always with the Pandavas and Krishna, because he is pure devotee of Krishna. Circumstances have put him in the other side, the wrong side. His heart was on the right side. And Dronacharya also was more or less on the same situation. Because of need, he had to accept the job of Kshatriya. He is a Brahman. But emergency, the Vedas said, Brahman can accept to work as Kshatriya or Vaishya if needed. So he was very poor Brahman. Didn't have a cow to give milk to his son, Ashwatthama. So the son will drink mixed rice with water, looks white. Oh, that he will tell his friend, I'm drinking milk. And friend will laugh at him. Poor boy, he thinks he's drinking milk. Drinking just rice water. Anyway, he went to see the great Parashurama, because here Parashurama is giving charity to the Brahmins. So he went to ask for alms. And Parashuram told him, I'm very sorry, but I already gave all my riches to the other Brahmins. You came late. I only have left my weapons. Okay, please give me your weapons. I'm very much me. Whatever you can give, I accept. But if you are gonna give me weapons, you have to teach me how to use them. Otherwise, what is the use? So he became Kshatriya by me, because of me. And so Brahmin has to be truthful, always tell the truth. And that is very important principle. That's why Parashuram became angry at Karna and cursed him because he lied. He said he was Brahmin, he was not Brahmin, he was Kshatriya. But by nature, but Shudra by adoption. He was adopted by Shudras, charioteer. Anyway, uh, so to be truthful is very important qualification of a Brahmin. To always say the truth. Uh, Once a boy, he went to a guru to ask him to accept him in his school, Gurukul. The guru said, I'm only accepting sons of Brahmin. I need to know who's your father. Well, I don't know. Then you go ask your mother. So the boy, 10 years old, went to ask the mother. The mother said, I also don't know. I had more than men at that time. I'm sorry to tell you this, but I wasn't chaste. And I don't know which one of them is your father. I'm very sorry. So the boy went back to the guru and told him, my mother also doesn't know who's my father. And the guru said, then you're a Brahmin because you're telling the truth. I accept you in my school. You're telling the truth. So to tell the truth is very important communication in the spiritual life. And even moral life, you know, not to speak of spiritual life. But also, according to Bhagavad Gita, the austerity of speech is to speak the truth, also beneficial. Has to be for the benefit of others, not to harm others. One may say, how can the truth harm anyone? In some extreme cases, could be. I will tell you another story in relation to that. Once a Brahmin who was very much addicted to Sidru, which is very good, but he lacked discrimination, proper discrimination. So one day he was sitting in front of his house, and a family with their belonging were there afraid, running away. And after like an hour or so, another group of thieves coming with swords and knives. They asked him, did you see a family passing through here? Oh yes, I did. Which road they take, the right or the left? Oh, they took the left. Oh, thanks. So they reached them, they robbed them and killed them. When this Brahmin died, he went to Yamaraj. And Yamaraj told him, because you told the truth, now you are going to hell. Understand the point? So in some cases like this extreme, it is allowed to save somebody's life to tell that. No? I'll tell you another story. Arjuna made a promise that whoever insults his Gandiva bow, he will kill that person. Or if he can't kill, he will kill himself. He made such a vow. So in the Kurukshetra war, Arjuna was supposed to protect his elder brother Yudhishthira. But he was diverted by the enemy to fight in different places. He could not be there. So Karna took advantage and he attacked severely Yudhishthira and he injured him all over. He was full of wounds and bloody. And finally Arjuna was able to come. And Yudhishthira was angry at him. He said, what is the use of your useless Gandiva bow? Throw it to the garbage. It's useless. It doesn't have any value at all. You know? Damn your Gandiva bow. So Arjuna became very disturbed. So he took off a sword, walked toward his brother. Krishna told him, "What are you going to do? Are you going to kill your brother? We are fighting this war to put your brother as the emperor of the world, and you are going to kill him? No, no, no. Of course I can't kill my brother. I'm going to kill myself and let him know why. I'm going to tell him why." And Krishna said, "If you kill yourself, who's going to win this war for your brother?" So Krishna, what can I do? I made this vow, this promise. I can't go back in my war. Either I kill him or kill myself. One of the two. Krishna said, "Don't worry. In the Vedas, it is said that to praise oneself is like killing yourself. So just praise yourself." So it's a way, it's a way. There is always a way, especially by Krishna. He knows everything, the Supreme Lord. Anyway, so he praised himself, like you killed yourself. Another time, Arjuna also made a promise, very difficult. Because what is the name of that Kshatriya who was the cause of the death of his son, Abhimanyu? No, not Jalasa. Not Jalasa. Jayadra. Jayadra. I mean, Abhimanyu knew how to break the phalanx and the Chakravyuh and enter it, but he didn't know how to get out. But Yudhishthira Maharaj promised him, "You just break in, we will follow you behind. We will be immediately with you." So he agreed, and he could break the Vyuha. He entered, but this Jayadrat blocked them, so they could not. So because of Jayadrat, Abhimanyu was killed unfairly because they attacked all of them at the same time. He was such a powerful Kshatriya, only 16 years old. He could defeat every one of them individually. So they have to combine together to be able to defeat. And he might have been hero. Now the question is, why he had to die so young? Why Krishna didn't do something to protect him? Being the son of Arjuna, is dear to God. Anybody know the answer to this question? May naturally arise. No? Have you thought about it sometime? Okay. I made a little research of the Puranas and I found the answer. Abhimanyu, in his previous life, he was a demigod. He was the son of Chandradev, Soma, the moon god. So the demigod asked him to give his son for Krishna Lila on earth. So the Somadev said, yes, but with one condition. I'm very attached to my son. I can't be separated from him too long. So only 16 days, no more. 16 days, heavenly planet is 16 years in this planet. So that was the arrangement. And that's why it happened what happened. Nothing happened accidentally. And Krishna Lila is everything. Krishna's taking care of everything. Like that. So anyway, then Arjuna made the promise, I will kill Jayadrat next day before sunrise. Before sunset, sorry. Because the fight starts after sunrise and finish at sunset. So before sunset, he made the promise. But everybody knew, because when you make a promise, everybody hears, So everybody protected Jayadra, because I made the promise, if I can't kill him, I will kill myself. So Duryodhana said, that's our chance to win this war. Everybody should protect Jayadratha and keep him away from Arjuna, no matter what. So they succeeded in that. And the sun set. So they're all happy. Now Arjuna has to die. So they left Jayadratha alone, and Krishna told the sun, okay, rise up again. And the sun rose again, and Arjuna attacked Jayadratha. You may say it's not fair. But in love and war, everything is allowed. The saying goes, no? Everything is fair. Everything is fair in love or war. Anyway, so Duryodhana was very much angry at Bhishma. And he always tried to, ask him, rather disturb all the time, picking on him. You are not a true Kshatriya. You are not fighting with all your power. I know you are very powerful. You can win this war in one day if you want. You are not fighting with all your strength because you're still very attached to the Pandavas. What kind of Kshatriya are you? Attached to family ties. You are not a true Kshatriya. He was always teasing him, disturbing. So every day he would do that. He wanted him to become angry. And Bhishmadev, as a true Kshatriya, one day became very angry. Then he told Duryodhana, okay, Bas, stop it. You see these 5 arrows I have here? They are empowered by very 5 powerful mantras. With these 5 arrows, tomorrow I'm going to kill each and every Pandava. Are you happy now? Oh, of course. Duryodhana was in ecstasy, So Bhishmadev gave the arrows to Duryodhana. Okay, take this arrow, you keep them. At sunrise, you give them to me. Okay. Duryodhana was so happy, couldn't sleep. But then Krishna is omniscient, he knows everything, he's the Supreme Lord. So he sent Arjuna. Arjuna, go to the camp of Duryodhana and ask him for 5 arrows that Bhishmadev gave. Now the question is, why Duryodhana has to give the arrow? He can say, I don't give you anything. I don't have to. Listen. But there is a reason behind it. Because once Arjuna saved the life of Duryodhana. When they were in exile in the forest, do you like the stories, Maharaj?
Yes.
Sure?
Yes.
When they were in exile, Duryodhana and company, Karna and others, wanted to go and have a laugh at them. They are suffering, living in the forest, He wanted to see Bhima starving a little bit. He wanted to enjoy that. So he went with his army, and when they entered the forest, they made a lot of noise with the chariot and the horses, and a lot of dust, So one demigod, Gandharva, he was taking bath in the river, his wives, and all this noise and dust disturbed him. So he became angry and challenged Duryodhana for a fight. Kshatriya can deny him when he is, confronted, challenged. So Duryodhana had a fight. And the Gandharva had celestial weapons. He defeated all of the army. And he arrested, he wounded Karna. Karna had to flee for his life, wounded. But he arrested Duryodhana with a rope, tied him with a rope. So one wounded soldier went to the camp of the Pandavas and told them what happened. And Bhima and Arjuna said, he deserved it, let him suffer. He came to laugh at us, he deserved to suffer. But Yudhishthira Maharaj said, we are cousins, we may have problems between ourselves. But if the third party comes to harm, we have to do something. So Arjuna, I want you to go and rescue Duryodhana and bring him here. Yes, my dear, and like whatever you say. So Arjuna went, challenged the Gandharva for a fight. They had an amazing battle. The Gandharva was feeling so much admiration for Arjuna's prowess, So he made friendship with him. Arjuna defeated him, and he was happy. So, wow, this is a real Kshatriya, a proper, person to fight with. So he gave him Duryodhana. You do whatever you like with him. And he gifted him some weapons and told him the mantra how to use them. Anyway, so Arjuna was taking Duryodhana, and Duryodhana told him, I owe you my life, so you can ask me anything you want. And Arjuna said, thank you, but not now. In the future, I will ask. so, so when he arrived at the Pandavas camp, Yudhishthira said, just release him, untie him, release him, let him go peacefully. So that's why when Arjuna went to ask for the 5 arrows, he could not refuse, because he made the promise for Arjuna. He said this line. So when Bhishmadev came in the morning to ask for the 5 arrows, they were gone. And he found Duryodhana depressed, very depressed. So to enliven a little bit Duryodhana, Bhishmadev told him to encourage him, don't worry, I will fight so strongly against Arjuna today that I will force Krishna to break his promise not to fight. So Duryodhana became happy. So and Bhishmadev did, he fought so heavily against Arjuna, so that Arjuna was desperate, he was wanted all over. Then Krishna grabbed the wheel of a broken chariot and was going to attack Bhishma. Arjuna was running after him, trying to stop him. You see the painting, beautiful painting. But Bhishmadev was in ecstasy. Here is my Lord coming for me. He was in ecstasy. He was a great devotee. And at that very moment, the conch shell sounded, the sun set, the fight was ended for that day. So Krishna almost broke his promise. Not only to protect Arjuna, of course, but also to protect the promise of his devotee Bhishma. For Krishna was more important that his devotee war be more important than his war. That's why. So Bhishmadev, he was a great devotee. He, by his father, gave him the blessing. You can die at will. So although he was wounded before the end of the war, he was waiting. He wanted to see the outcome. He wanted to see the Pandavas victorious. That was his heart desire. And he wanted to die in front of Lord Krishna. So his desire was fulfilled, and he's offering prayer to Krishna like that. Beautiful, remembering the glittering dress of Krishna when the sun touches dress. It's very nice, very beautiful. It's great devotee. So once I did the home program in Oklahoma City, and one senior man, he asked me a question. He said, why Krishna asked Yudhishthira Maharaj to tell lie? If Krishna is the supreme, absolute truth, how he can ask somebody to tell lie? You know the story, no? Krishna asked Yudhishthira to say that Ashwatthama is dead. Because Dronacharya was killing too many soldiers of the Pandavas. So to discourage him, he killed the elephant of the enemy called Ashwatthama. And he was announcing, I killed Ashwatthama. But Dronacharya will not believe. So Krishna Yudhishthira said, you say. If you say, he will believe. Because Yudhishthira was so famous for always being so truthful. I mean, he was so pious, Yudhishthira Maharaj. In the Mahabharata it is explained that his chariot will never touch the ground. It's always a little above the ground. Some commentators, they wrongly say that because Yudhishthira Maharaj told lie, his chariot touched the ground. But they are wrong. because he doubted for one moment to obey Krishna, that's why his chariot touched the ground. Not because he told the so-called lie. So-called lie. I say, how is this so-called lie? Anyway, Yudhishthira Maharaj said, Ashvatthama is there. The elephant. For himself, just for himself. Now this senior man, he asked me, why Krishna did that? Ask him to say that. I told him, Krishna actually didn't ask him to tell that. Because Krishna was not speaking from the material, physical point of view. He was speaking from the spiritual point of view. So Ashvatthama spiritually he was dead because he became enemy of Krishna and the Pandava. He was spiritually dead. He said, that's a convincing answer. Thank you. Anyway, so Krishna Lila is amazing. It's very amazing. Very wonderful. You know the story of Ekalavya? You know the story of Ekalavya. What people think of Ekalavya? Many people think he's a great hero. No? He sacrificed for his guru and all. Completely wrong. Completely wrong. I will tell you why. Dronacharya didn't accept him as disciples. I'm not accepting now only the Kshatriyas, I'm accepting for training. So he unlawfully made the murti of Dronacharya, was worshipping without the Guru permission. So he was not doing the thing correctly. So when what happened is Ekalavya was envious of Arjuna. He wanted to compete with Arjuna to be better than him. And Dronacharya, he promised Arjuna to make him the best archer in the world. So when they found, the forest one dog was barking, and next time he was stopped working, they saw somebody made what you call a blossom made of arrows. I mean, made in the air, not like they put like this with the hand, made in the air. So Arjuna asked this Guru, you promised me to make me the best archer in the world. I see already somebody as good as me. So Dronacharya found who was the one who did that, and was Ekalavya. So he asked Ekalavya, oh, who is your Guru? You are my Guru. Really? I am your Guru. He didn't know. The Guru, to have Guru means not only you accept him, he also has to accept you. Otherwise, you can't become disciple unless he accepts. Understand? So that's why the Acharya told him, okay, you're my Shishya, then what is the Guru Dakshina? Okay, ask me Guru Dakshina. I want your thumb. Because without this, they can shoot the arrow. And Ekalavya chop off his dad. And people think, oh, he's great here. That was an act of pride, of false ego. He would have said, I'm very sorry to impose myself on you as my Guru. Please forgive me. That was the right thing to do. But he was envious of Arjuna, pure devotee, and he did not respect the decision of the Guru not to accept him. So he became an offender, not a hero like some people think. I met one devotee, his name is Ekalavya Das. I told him, you should ask your Guru to change your name. And I said the story, why is the reason? All these things I'm saying were explained by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. So that's what he thought. Prabhupada, he said all this explanation. I'm quoting him. So thank you very much. If you have any comments, questions, please do. Yes.
The minister is so truthful. Why he made a gamble?
Ask the questions, everybody can hear. Please.
Addition. So Yudhishthira is so truthful. So why he gambled all his brothers? Why?
Okay. There is a reason behind that. Two reasons, not one, two. One reason is a Kshatriya, when challenged, he can't say no. Otherwise, he considered coward. So he was challenged to play dice. He could not refuse. And to show the world the danger of gamble, he showed that he could not control himself. He was, I know people who gambled everything. They lost house, family, car, everything because of gamble. So Yudhishthira Maharaj wanted to show how dangerous addiction is gambling. Like that. I had a brother who was a gambler. He will go to all the casinos. They will pay his air ticket, first class, 5-star hotels for free, because he will spend $50,000, 60,000 every time he go $100,000. He had a lot of money. So I was preaching to him about the story of Yudhishthira. See what happened. He could not control. He has to lose everything. His family abandoned. Then he came to his senses. So it's a very big addiction. Gambling. So Yudhishthira Maharaj, to teach the world the danger of gambling, he gave the example that he lost control of gambling. Understand? Yes.
Maharaj, we talked about it's okay to say bye or Krishna.
Yes.
So I practically face the situation many times at office, like lunch, gathering, the team wants to come.
Yes.
I say some lie because I don't want to go. So I experience a lot, even in social, other friends, like non-devotee friends.
Yeah.
I feel bad. Should I say this lie? Is it good for a devotee to, ask for a devotee to, so maybe creating lies every time. So how do we handle that?
It's not good. It's not good thing to be accustomed to tell lie for any small things like that every time. Better to be honest. Give some excuse, but real. That's better, because the story of the wolf. No? You know the story. One boy, he was wanted to play jokes on the town people. He was a pastor, we call it shepherd. So he will come to the what do they call the wolf. The wolves are coming. So they came with their, and he started to laugh. No, he did it a few times. Then when the real wolves came, they didn't believe him. So he was attacked by the wolves. So better don't, because we have a Spanish saying, más rápido se agarra un mentiroso, más rápido se agarra un mentiroso que un cojo. Meaning, you can catch faster a liar than what you call cojo. Who knows Spanish? How you say cojo in English? Limping than a limping. You catch more fast a liar than a limping. Yeah, but you find some skills. I understand it's not a harmful lie, but you're not harming anybody. But it's not good to get accustomed to. to tell lie. Sometimes, Baisha, they have to tell lie for their business. I'm not making any profit.
It's for you.
Cost price. Everybody don't lie. Because Baisha aren't the most passion ignorance, so they have to tell lie. But the less the better. When I joined the movement, Hare Krishna movement back in the 70s, I gave books about Krishna to my friends, family members to read. I want them to know about Krishna. So one day, my sister told me, "Thank you for the book. I read it, I like it. But I have one big doubt." I said, "Yeah, please ask." She said, "But please don't get offended." I said, No, don't worry. I will not get offended. Ask me anything you want." "Well, I don't understand why you worship a God who's a thief and a liar." So I asked her, "Why you say this?" "Oh, I told you not to be offended." No, I just need to know why you're saying." "Well, because I read in the book you gave me that Krishna is stealing butter and yogurt. And when he's caught, he said, 'No, I'm not stealing.' So not only thief, but also liar. How can you worship a God like that?" I told my sister, "Okay, to answer your doubt, I'm going to ask you to please, at least theoretically, accept that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Then I can explain." She said, "Okay, theoretically I can accept." Theoretically, okay. If he is the Supreme God, that means he created the whole universe. And all the butter, all the yogurt inside the universe belongs to him. So if he say, "I'm not stealing," he's saying the truth. How can you steal from yourself? She said, "I never thought about it." Makes sense. Makes sense. Yes. Take the mic, please.
In Mahabharata, everyone has a reason to fight against Krishna.
Yes.
But why the Krishna's army fight against him?
Oh, that's another story. You want to hear, I guess. Okay. When the war was unavoidable, first Krishna wanted peace. He wanted to show the war that he wanted peace, and also his devotee Pandavas also wanted peace. So he went like a messenger of peace to convince the Kauravas not to fight. So he went to their palace as a messenger, and he made an offer, a peace offer, that you give the 5 brothers, Pandavas, each one a city to rule, a village to rule, and we avert this war. Dhritarashtra was agreeable. He said, "I think it's a great idea. I agree." But Duryodhana didn't agree. Duryodhana said, he said, "If they want a pinch of land, they have to fight for it. I'm not going to give them anything." So Krishna told Dhritarashtra, "If your son is a problem for peace, then put him in jail." But the Dhritarashtra could not do the right thing because he was very much attached to his firstborn. So he could not do the right thing because of extreme attachment. So then Duryodhana became angry at Krishna. And he asked the soldiers, "Arrest Krishna, put him in jail." So Krishna laughed. He said, "You can arrest me." And Krishna took universal form, And in the palace, gigantic 4-armed form, brilliant like suns. Everybody with folded hand offering prayers. Even Dhritarashtra's heart was moved. He prayed to Krishna, "Please allow me to see for a little while your form as universal form." And Krishna gave the blessing. He could see for a few moments the form of the Lord. And then, of course, the war is unavoidable after the incident. And So Duryodhana was going to different kings to ask them their support, like, political party going, asking for support, like that. When Gandhi was his campaign, non-violent campaign, he went to a very rich, powerful man to ask for his help. The man said, ask me any money, I will give you all the money you want. I want to support. And Gandhi said, no, I don't want your money. I want you. I want you being born. So Arjuna also went to get king to side with the Pandavas. The first place they both went was Dwarka. And they went to Krishna's palace. Of course, both of them wanted Krishna's support. Duryodhana knew Krishna is very powerful. He didn't have faith in Krishna as the Supreme Lord. He knew Krishna was very powerful. So when Duryodhana knew shortcut, he arrived first. But when he arrived, Daruka, Krishna's servant, told him, Krishna is having a nap. You have to wait until he wakes up. And then Arjuna arrived. So Arjuna was at Krishna's feet, and Duryodhana was on the side. When Krishna woke up, he saw Arjuna. Oh, Arjuna, welcome. Nice you're here. And Duryodhana said, I am here also. I arrived first. I have right to ask first from you. Krishna said, no. I saw first Arjuna. And he's younger than you. He has right to ask first. But don't worry, Duryodhana, you will not go empty-handed. Arjuna can choose between me and arm, I will not fight, or he can have my arm. Arjuna maybe said, I want you, Krishna. And Duryodhana said, I want your arm. Can I take it right away? Oh, okay, you can take it right away. So Duryodhana arrived at the palace and announced, we are going to win this war. We have all Chitra's Right Krishna army, powerful army. And Dronacharya and Bhishma told him, fool, this war is lost. Krishna is so dangerous, so powerful, even unarmed. There is nothing you can do. So that's the story. Any other questions, comments?
Thank you for wonderful class.
Hare, yes.
Amongst the 12 Mahajanas,
Yes,
we consider Bhishma Pitama.
correct.
But we compare the other people
Yes,
or other devotees in that list.
yes,
Bhishma Deva is totally different from all of them. So many times he has gone against the will of Lord. He had followed his own vow. Nowhere in Mahabharata that explained that Lord has given him permission to fight against him from Kauravas. But still he fought when Draupadi got unrobed.
Okay, let me tell you the story of Draupadi. When Bhishma Dev was on the bed of arrows, after the Pandavas won the war, Yudhishthira was feeling very much guilty because so many millions of people died to make him emperor. So Krishna tried to pacify him. Vyasadeva, the great sage, was trying also to pacify him with knowledge, with philosophy. He could not be pacified. So he went to Bhishma Dev. Krishna advised, you go to Bhishma Dev for advice. Now, Bhishma Dev was going to instruct Yudhishthira Maharaj. But Draupadi protested. She said, when I was gonna be disrobed in this vicious assembly, you didn't say a word. Now you want to speak. And Bhishma Dev said, you are right. I could not speak then because I was eating their bread. They were maintaining me. I could not speak. Now all this food I took from them came out of my body in the form of blood. Now I can speak. See? So he made promise to his father. He had, in Vedic time, when you make promise, you rather die than don't fulfill your promise. And Krishna knew his heart. He knew Vishwadev was his great devotee, pure devotee. Even he was throwing arrows at Krishna. Even sometimes he was hurting Krishna. Some blood was coming. But Krishna was enjoying. Like offering of flowers to him, because they have relation like Kshatriyas, heroism, purely, Krishna enjoying different races. That was his mood. So who can understand? All right, let's have, no more questions. We can have a little kirtan until prasadam time. So we have, thank you, Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Can you get the document? The small one, the counter. We'll bring it.
Let's sit here. So we can have kirtan.
You want to sit down?
Yeah,
Yeah. You want to sit down or here? We got the table. So you can
those are fair.
they get asan. Asan. Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, so while we are getting ready for the kirtan,
You can sit down. Get the asan.
first of all, we'd like to thank His Holiness BHAKTISUNDAR GOSWAMI for a wonderful class, and we are very happy that Maharaj is here. Please give him a big hand. We have better yet to come. Kirtan.